Why the University of Akron? Why is this happening? Well, I know why neuromarketing is happening, or why alternative research practices that we've been examining today is taking place. I mean, we know that a lot of behavior is unconscious. You've told me today that advertising is unpredictable, products are failing. You've painted sort of a bleak picture. Even customer satisfaction is a little bit questionable, right? The only thing that's really positive I can take from it is that I know I can sell a Rolex watch to the consumers in China, which I appreciate. Thank you. But why is this neuromarketing initiative happening at the University of Akron? Now, obviously, that's not an easy answer. There's a lot of hard work, a lot of commitment, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of resources that have made this possible. As many of you will know, or that are familiar in the academic world, that it has to start at the top. And so if I'm going to acknowledge what makes this possible in this conference and our research lab and the students that we have, I have to admit that we have the support of the university. It was about a year ago that I sat in your seat, and our provost, Dr. Sherman, came and introduced to us what they were calling their Vision 2020 strategic plan for the future. Now, you can imagine in most strategic plans, so I can tell you in the academic world, a strategic plan makes us all nervous because some units are thinking, am I going to be left out? Am I going to be replaced? Are colleges going to be consolidated? It can cause an area of unrest. Fortunately for myself, Dr. Hauser, and the rest of our team, we were quite surprised and pleased because many of the qualities that we have built this resource into were reflected in this vision. And that's sort of why we're able to stand here. The university at the highest level is committed to providing a research source for the community, for the university, for our students, and potentially the industry that is going to make a contribution. And in this strategic plan, some of the objectives, I'm not going to detail the entire plan to you, but I want to point out to you a few of the objectives that are outlined that complement much of what we've been talking about here today. The first is the university came and said, we want to invest our resources in the future into these STEM areas. And I know many of you have probably been hearing about this across the country, and that stands for the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics aspects. Well, and you've heard from our speakers today, neuromarketing touches all of these areas in some way, in some form and fashion. So that puts us in the middle. But as I was sitting in your spot, and he was telling us about the strategic vision, I immediately asked a question. Because I didn't see on there, where is the College of Business? Well, I said, how does the college fit in here? And his response is, in business, you have to serve as the hub of these spokes. And I think from a neuromarketing standpoint, business and marketing connects and links many of these qualities, whether we're talking about science, technology, engineering, mathematics, the data analysis aspect of it, that brings it back into a purpose. And that's an important quality and a commitment from the university. The second reason is he asked that this strategic vision, anything that we engage in enhances the reputation. That's understandable. All universities would ask that, certainly. But how do you do that? Well, we do it from this initiative here today. We do it from the work that comes out of the lab and ultimately our graduates. The third is they ask that we expand our partnerships. Welcome to the university. You are our future partners. I mean, that's what we're looking for, not only just for colleagues to conduct research with, but also for students to have opportunities for internships and to engage in a dialogue in an area that is changing. And marketing research is changing right now. I was just talking with Roger, and my take on why we have reached this point is that we have come to an intersection of technology, science, and business that has made it affordable for all of us to ask questions, to ask the hard questions and use tools that allows us to possibly solve those answers. Now, we were joking and arguing that we're not there yet. It's still very difficult. But the journey, in my mind, is the most exciting opportunity. The last reason is that from the strategic vision is that certainly they've asked us to foster student engagement. Again, that's what we are about. You can see a number of students that have attended today, students that participate in our studies, that participate as lab researchers. They gain the firsthand knowledge. This is a commitment that the lab is dedicated to. But it's not all just about the university. All of you know the top level, you cannot accomplish anything if the top level management doesn't support your initiative. But the day-to-day operations are equally as important. And I think sort of the second reason that I'm able to be here and talk with you today is because of the changes that have taken place in our College of Business. What many of you may not know is that we've gone through a significant amount of change in the last 2 years. A new dean has come aboard. We have a new department chair in marketing. A lot of the faculty have been restructured and retired. All of these things, are exciting and brought opportunities to us, but more importantly, they have created sort of initiative. From a college standpoint, I'm able to stand here, we're able to host this conference because the college supports us in what we're doing and asks us to simply go out and develop our relationships with all of you. The ways in which the college will support us, I've listed here, primarily is because we are, as a college, are very applied. Meaning that from a mission standpoint as a college, they've asked us to take our knowledge, take our research, and apply it directly to the business practices. We do this through our consulting, we do this through our students, in our projects, and even in the classroom itself. The college has also asked us to create special course offerings that differentiate ourselves. They've certainly given me the opportunity last year to teach one of the first neuromarketing courses in the country. I had 25 students. We examined many of the common topics that we've talked about here today. It was exciting because I had to learn as just as much as they are as we're going in, because my background is in media research, not a traditional cognitive scientist. But I can say it was one of the most exciting classes I've ever participated in and taught myself over the last 15 years. The third area where the college sort of ask us to go out and support us in this initiative is that they want us to be interdisciplinary. And again, you've heard this all today. I mean, these are all comments that all of the colleagues have spoken about. One of the most important things for us here, and Dr. Crish will tell you about our interdisciplinary nature in a few minutes, but one of the most important things with us is not just to reach in our college, but reach beyond. I'm pleased to say that we've established relationships in psychology. We have one of the top psychology programs in the country, and we have a doctoral student that's now working with us in the lab. Our hope is to certainly expand those resources and expand those relationships in the future. But this support that the college has provided us makes it possible for this initiative to take place. Certainly, sort of the last factor that has contributed to why we're able to host this conference and engage and launch this lab has been because of the Suarez Corporation itself. Now, I want to tell you, the Suarez Corporation is our benefactor, but you have to understand the relationship there. Ben Suarez created the Suarez Company out of his home many years ago and has grown this to a multi-million-dollar direct marketing firm. But what is surprising to me as someone external coming into this relationship is not that they're looking for best business practices or they're looking for companies to be successful and foster education, but it's really about how passionate Ben Suarez and his executive team, which some of them are here today, are about research. And so one of the things that I talk about when I'm in the classroom is that the most important qualities associated with research are really the questions. I mean, that's what we saw today with Lindsay talking about earlier, and Steve was talking about some of the research they engage in. The questions that you are seeking answers for are the most critical factors in any research project. What the Suarez Corporation has allowed us to do is to provide us with the tools to seek those answers. And all they've asked is to go out, and all they've asked us in return is just to go out and do great things. Well, I think today is the first step of that. And I'm not here to tout and to sound that the University of Akron is great. Even though it sounds like in reflection that's what it sounds like it's coming from. I'm just trying to say that I've been at many places, and the opportunities that are presented here are unique and what brought me to this point. I'm excited about the future, and this is why this initiative is taking place. Questions? Yes, ma'am. That's a great question, Stephanie. I feel like I've talked to so many people today, I'm repeating. Everyone asks a different question. I'm repeating myself. But one of the things, certainly one of the missions of the lab, is to partner with companies, to reach out. I don't think our view is not to be seen as a competitor to Lindsay or Steve or any of them in that context. Our view is as a resource. Now, certain times when we will partner with companies, companies will sponsor projects, class projects, research projects, because they want a different perspective. They want an academic viewpoint. And so, yeah, we hope to do that. We're doing that now. There are projects in place.